So the first assignment you're going to do is you need to do an assignment and decide the brief that you want to work on for media studies. So there's three briefs to pick from. I'm going to go through them with you. I'm going to show you what the tasks are. Now it's really important that you only pick one of these briefs. You can't do all of them. So you need to pick the one which is that you are the most enthusiastic about, because you're going to be spending a lot of time working on this throughout the year. Similarly, make sure that when you're looking at the products in the briefs, that some of the platforms like eMedia or Broadcast give you two or three products to choose from. You only pick one. You don't have to do them all. This ties into the question section and to the research you're going to do later. So remember, pick the ones that you're interested in. Okay, so brief one. Okay, so brief one is an independent film and TV production brief. Basically, the whole idea of this brief is that you're working for a production company, and that they've been producing television-based programs based around sort of fly-on-the-wall documentaries like Educating Essex, or the one about the babies, which I can't remember what its name is, In the Hospital, or anything around those sort of areas. So it's a program where they have been doing sort of putting cameras into places, etc., etc. Or they've also been making structured reality programming, so stuff like The Only Way Is Essex, Made in Chelsea, etc., etc. Finally, they've also been making fictional products, so fictional products which you would find sort of like on E4. So what they're looking to do in this brief is they're looking to push the boundaries of existing formats. So they're trying to make it a unique product based on either a fly-on-the-wall documentary or a structured reality TV program or some sort of fictional product. So that's what you're doing for them. You need to make sure that the target audience for this is sort of the E4 demographic. So we're talking 15 to 35-year-old people, and it's going to be before the watershed, so it's before 9 p.m. So you need to be careful about the language that you use and the content which is in there. What you can choose from is as follows. Now remember, you're going to pick two of these. You're going to work on two platforms, and you're going to not bother with the third platform. So you're either going to do broadcast and print and not do eMedia, or print and eMedia and not do broadcast, etc., etc. Okay, so for broadcast, you're going to choose from one of the following. You can either produce the opening few scenes of a TV program, or the TV program you've selected. Okay, so it's got to tell me about what's going to happen in it, the characters, locations. You can include a title sequence, but it's got to be very short, and it's going to be about 2 to 2.5 minutes long. You could do viral marketing products, so you could do a lot of mini-based trailers for the film or for the program, or you could do 15 seconds, 30 seconds each, or you could do something which is based around introducing one character, so there could be a little clip for each character or something like that. But remember, that's not a trailer; it's a viral product, so you'd need to find out what that is. Or you could do a radio sequence, and I'd hope people would stay away from radio, because we don't really have the facilities to do that. But that's your choice. Second, if you pick print, okay, you can do a teaser ad campaign. Okay, so this is the campaign which is before the show's release. So it's like coming soon. So you need to research these. You need to research what this is. You can find a lot of examples on E4. You can find a lot of examples from like American shows like Breaking Bad, etc., etc. But it's all about getting people to talk about the show. Similarly, this is at least 4 pages in length of A4, and it needs to make reference to other advertising material. So you must include stuff like Facebook links or YouTube or etc. Web links, etc., etc. Or you can make a souvenir magazine. So a souvenir magazine on the show, front cover, 2 other pages, which talks about the show and what's in it, where it's broadcast. Then, if you pick eMedia, what you can do is you can make a 3-page fan website. So it's not an official website, it's a fan site. So you need to find out what a fanzine is. And this must introduce the show, outline the characters, but it must be interactive. Interactivity is key. Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, forum, chats, etc., etc. And it must allow the fans and stars to communicate together. Or you can make an eMedia campaign. So a minimum of 3 pages of A4, and it can include anything to do with eMedia. So it could be banners, it could be official web page, site, it could be a pop-up, it could be in-space advertising, it could be social networking, it could be whatever you want. But it must include moving image and audio. Okay? So that's brief 1. Right, so brief 2 is a new brief, started this year. So this will be the first time it's taught, but it looks quite interesting for what they're for how they're doing it. So, okay, so it's all about lifestyles. You're working for a new production company, and they've had success with cookery competition shows. So sort of like British Bake Off and MasterChef and stuff like that. And they've also had success in doing stuff in magazines. So what they want to do is they need a new idea for new programs based around this whole idea of lifestyles. And it needs to be alternative lifestyles. So, and it needs to be a new approach to this. So it could be something to do with health, it could be to do with fitness, it could be to do with fashion, it could be to do with music, it could be to do with anything you want, but it's an alternative lifestyle. The key thing is it needs to have a niche audience. And it needs to make sure that it demonstrates how sponsorship can be used, product placement, merchandising, and commercial links within that program. So that's key. Okay, so that's that brief. Now, the sort of what it's asking you to choose from are the following. Remember, you only pick 2. Broadcast, create a new concept for a lifestyle program. So a series of short broadcast products on this program to promote it. So it's like mini trailers on this product, 2 minutes. Or a short news report for a radio show, or a segment from the show that focuses on the lifestyle issue. So it could be an interview segment, it could be an introduction, it could be whatever. It could be, but it needs to be a segment, and we're looking between 2 and 3 minutes for this. If you pick print, what you're looking for is the first thing is a 2 to 3 pages from a weekend newspaper supplement. So something like one of the Times magazine, or the magazine that you get in the the Guardian or something like that, and it needs to be within that section. So you have to follow the layout and the conventions of whichever magazine you picked. And it needs to be a feature article on a subject related to this lifestyle issue that you've picked. Okay, and it can be included with other articles, and it can be in the middle, etc., etc. Or if you don't want to do that, you can do a cover and a 2 pages of a specialised magazine on this lifestyle issue. So sort of, front cover, new magazine that you've come up with, 2 pages for this magazine. If you pick eMedia, okay, you can choose from the following. You need to make 3 to 4 pages of a web page for an existing magazine website. So you need to look at a magazine website, and you need to make the pages based around that, using their templates, etc., etc. It needs to include stuff about how it can be promoted across the media platform. So that's something to think about. How would you, how are you going to use video? How are you going to advertise this product, etc., etc. You got to promote your lifestyle issue within this. Or you can do a marketing website for the lifestyle topic, and you must promote the product. It must be interactive and promote participation. Now I'm going to speak to the exam board about that, because I'm not entirely sure exactly what they mean by a marketing website. So if you want to do marketing specifically for this, then let me know, and I'll find out some more information. Okay, the final brief is brief 3, which is music. So this is a popular brief. You're working for a record label called New Tunes, and basically you've got to promote a new band or music act for the forthcoming their album and their 12-date tour. You need to make an image for the band. It needs to appeal to an audience, and you can construct the brand basically. It's a youth-based market, this one, but it needs to promote more than just a niche audience. Okay, this is very popular, this brief. Key thing about this brief is it's good if you know people that play instruments or DJs, etc., etc., because then they can be your band, and if you choose broadcast, and you can film them doing their stuff. So I suggest with this one, if you don't know anyone that plays an instrument, if you don't know anyone who's in a band, etc., etc., then I'd stay away from broadcast, and I'd just focus on print and e-media, because it's a lot easier. But anyway, the stuff that you can pick from is as follows. 2 or 3 minute promo video about the band. Okay, so promo video. It's not a music video, it's a promo, but it needs to include music within that. Okay, it needs to define the genre, create a brand for the act, and give some information about where they came from, etc., etc. And this must be in like a documentary news report style, so you need to research that. If you pick print, a print campaign for the act. So you can pick 3 pages from the following: a full-page advert for the album, a half-page advert for the tour, a flyer to promote the album, a prepared interview in a named publication, press release, or anything else. In e-media, you're looking at a 3-page extract from the official band's website, so a music website. Okay, so they are the briefs that you can pick from. Find the activity on It's Learning. This is where you need to go to. You need to log into It's Learning, go to Courses. When you've gone to Courses, you need to go to Courses, you need to go to MEST 2 at Media AS 13 to 14. When you go to there, you need to go to MEST 2 down here. Then you need to go to Task 1. And in Task 1, you will see Assignment 1A, Research into the Brief. If you get stuck on what we talked about in terms of selecting your brief, then make sure that you watch the video again. There's a YouTube link to it here, and also there is a link in here which is called Number 1 Brief Selection.